Developing right now, a search for a killer in South Florida after an up-and-coming rapper is shot dead. 20-year-old XXXTentacion killed in an apparent robbery.
The rapper XXXTentacion has been shot, apparently targeted while shopping for a motorcycle. Chopper 4 was over the scene on North Dixie Highway near Sample Road. The
20-year-old rapper XXXTentacion, whose real name is Jahseh Onfroy, was shot and killed in Broward County today. Authorities say that Onfroy was leaving a motorsports store shortly before 4 o'clock when two men in a dark-colored SUV shot and killed him in what's an apparent robbery. Now, the two shooters have not been found. The rapper was currently awaiting trial on charges including domestic battery, aggravated battery, and false imprisonment against his girlfriend, who was pregnant.
June 18th, 2018. Jahseh Dwayne Ricardo Onfroy, known to the world as XXXTentacion, woke up in his Parkland, Florida home with no idea that this would be his final day on Earth. The 20-year-old rapper had been experiencing a meteoric rise in his career, with his album topping the Billboard 200 chart just months earlier. But beneath the success, darkness loomed as he was awaiting trial for serious domestic violence charges that could have forever altered his trajectory. That morning, like many others, X seemed to be in good spirits. He had been working on new music and planning his future, completely unaware that by the afternoon, his life would be violently cut short in a robbery that would shock the hip-hop community and leave millions of fans devastated. The day began routinely enough. XXXTentacion made his way to a Bank of America branch where he withdrew a substantial amount of cash planned to use for a motorcycle purchase. This decision to carry such a large sum would prove to be a fatal mistake. Unknown to him, his movements were already being tracked by individuals who had been following his social media activity and knew about his wealth. The bank surveillance footage would later become crucial evidence in the murder trial, showing the rapper in what appeared to be a casual, relaxed mood, completely unaware of the danger that was already closing in on him. After leaving the bank, XXXTentacion drove to RIVA Motorsports. An upscale motorcycle and marine dealership located in Deerfield Beach. This wasn't his first visit to the dealership. He had been there before, looking at various motorcycles and watercraft. The location was well known for serving high-end clients, making it a target for those looking to prey on wealthy customers. What X didn't realize was that a dark-colored Dodge Journey SUV had been following him since he left the bank. Inside the vehicle were four men: Dedrick Williams, Michael Boatwright, Trayvon Newsom, and Robert Allen, names that would soon become synonymous with one of hip-hop's most shocking murders. Inside RIVA Motorsports, XXXTentacion browsed the showroom, examining various motorcycles and speaking with staff. Witnesses later described him as appearing relaxed and in good spirits, taking his time to look at different models. He was dressed casually, wearing his signature dreadlocks and carrying a Louis Vuitton bag that contained the cash he had withdrawn earlier. The dealership's security cameras captured his final moments of peace, showing him moving around the showroom, completely oblivious to the fact that outside, armed men were waiting for the perfect moment to strike. These would be the last images of XXXTentacion alive and free from harm. While XXXTentacion shopped inside the dealership, the four suspects positioned themselves strategically in the parking lot. According to police reports and trial testimony, they had been tracking the rapper's movements through his social media posts, where he had previously shown off large amounts of cash and expensive jewelry. Dedrick Williams, who would later be identified as the mastermind behind the plot, coordinated the positioning of the getaway vehicle, while Michael Boatwright and Trayvon Newsom prepared to be the armed robbers who would approach the rapper's car. Robert Allen remained in the vehicle, serving as the lookout and getaway driver. At approximately 3:56 p.m., XXXTentacion exited RIVA Motorsports and walked toward his black BMW i8 sports car. As he approached his vehicle and began to get inside, the Dodge Journey SUV quickly moved to block his exit from the parking space. Two masked men immediately jumped out of the SUV and approached the rapper's car with guns drawn. The surveillance footage, which would later be played during the murder trial, shows the terrifying moment when what started as a robbery quickly escalated into something far more deadly. The attack was swift and brutal, lasting only seconds, but forever changing the lives of everyone involved. Witnesses at the RIVA Motorsports dealership immediately called 911 after hearing the gunshots.
Gunshot, like pow, and then I just seen everybody crowding around the car and stuff.
And I saw the police cars and there's a helicopter. It's pretty crazy.
As his fans got word of the shooting, they started showing up at the scene.
His diversity as an artist was unreal.
I was really shocked. I couldn't believe it. I had to come to see for myself.
Emergency responders arrived at the scene within minutes, but it was already too late. Paramedics found XXXTentacion unconscious and unresponsive in his vehicle. Despite their efforts to provide life-saving treatment, the damage from the gunshot wounds was too severe. XXXTentacion was rushed to Broward Health North Hospital, where medical staff worked frantically to save his life. However, the gunshot wounds had caused massive trauma, and despite the medical team's best efforts, there was nothing that could be done. At approximately 5:30 p.m., less than 2 hours after the shooting, Jahseh Onfroy was pronounced dead. The news spread quickly through social media, with fans initially hoping that reports of his shooting were exaggerated or false.
XXXTentacion has been shot, apparently targeted while shopping for a motorcycle. Chopper 4 was over the scene on North Dixie Highway near Sample Road. The Broward Sheriff's Office says they got a call about the shooting at around 4 p.m. They say the rapper was transported to an area hospital where the Sheriff's Office says he died.
The Broward Sheriff's Office immediately launched a massive investigation into the murder. Detectives reviewed surveillance footage from multiple locations, interviewed witnesses, and began piecing together the events that led to the rapper's death. The quality of the surveillance footage from RIVA Motorsports proved crucial in identifying the suspects and their vehicle. Within days, police had identified the Dodge Journey SUV used in the attack and were closing in on the suspects. The investigation revealed that this was not a random robbery, but a planned attack by individuals who had been tracking XXXTentacion's movements and knew about his habit of carrying large amounts of cash. On June 20th, 2018, just 2 days after the murder, police arrested 22-year-old Dedrick Williams in Pompano Beach. Williams was identified as the alleged mastermind behind the robbery and murder plot. His arrest came after investigators linked him to the Dodge Journey SUV used in the attack and found evidence connecting him to the crime. Williams was charged with first-degree murder without premeditation, a charge that could carry the death penalty in Florida. His arrest brought some measure of relief to XXXTentacion's family and fans, but 3 other suspects remained at large. Over the following weeks and months, police arrested the remaining suspects in the case. Michael Boatwright, identified as the gunman who actually fired the fatal shots, was arrested along with Trayvon Newsom, who was alleged to have been the second armed robber. Robert Allen, who served as the getaway driver, was also apprehended. All 4 suspects were eventually charged with first-degree murder.
4 men have been charged with the murder and the death of up-and-coming rap star XXXTentacion, but 2 of the suspects are still on the run this morning. Investigators say Michael Boatwright and Trayvon Newsom confronted the rapper as he left a motorcycle store in Broward County last month. The rapper was found in the driver's seat of his car with multiple gunshot wounds. Investigators believe this started as a robbery.
In a significant development, Robert Allen, the alleged getaway driver, agreed to plead guilty to second-degree murder in exchange for testifying against his co-defendants. Allen's testimony would prove crucial in the prosecution's case, as he provided an insider's account of how the robbery and murder were planned and executed. Allen testified that the group had been following XXXTentacion on social media and knew about his patterns of carrying large amounts of cash. He admitted that what was supposed to be a simple robbery turned deadly when Boatwright opened fire on the rapper.
From a fourth man who was allegedly involved, Robert Allen took the stand now as a state's witness, having pleaded guilty to second-degree murder back in August. The jury got to hear Allen talk about what happened that day back in June 2018 and watch surveillance video of the entire incident, concluding with a vivid description by Allen of the actual moment of the robbery and murder. He says as Trayvon Newsom was trying to steal XXXTentacion's Louis Vuitton bag, the fatal shots were fired by Michael Boatwright. Take a listen.
As he's grabbing the bag, shots are fired.
Who shoots the shots that are fired?
Michael Boatwright.
And who does he shoot?
Triple X.
Following their convictions, all three defendants were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The sentences reflected the serious nature of their crimes and ensured that they would never again be free to harm others. The judge noted the devastating impact that XXXTentacion's death had on his family, friends, and millions of fans around the world. The life sentences sent a strong message about the consequences of armed robbery and murder.
A growing memorial for rapper XXXTentacion outside the Deerfield Beach motorcycle dealership where he was gunned down in broad daylight. The 20-year-old rapper from Plantation, whose real name was Jahseh Onfroy, was leaving RIVA Motorsport when he was shot.
Despite his controversial past and short career, XXXTentacion left an indelible mark on hip-hop and popular music. His ability to blend genres, from hardcore rap to melodic singing, influenced countless artists who came after him. Songs like Sad and Moonlight showcased his versatility and emotional depth. His album, 17, dealt with themes of depression and mental health in ways that resonated deeply with young listeners struggling with similar issues. Even after his death, his music continued to top charts and influenced new generations of artists. XXXTentacion's legacy remains complex due to the serious domestic violence charges he faced at the time of his death. He was accused of physically abusing his pregnant girlfriend, charges that he denied but which cast a shadow over his career and posthumous reputation. However, many fans and supporters argued that he was working to become a better person and had shown signs of growth and maturity in his final months. The debate over how to remember him continues to this day, with supporters focusing on his music and positive influences while critics point to his alleged violent behavior. One of the most significant aspects of XXXTentacion's legacy was his openness about mental health struggles. His music provided comfort and understanding to millions of young people dealing with depression, anxiety, and suicidal thoughts. Songs like Jahseh Onfroy and Everybody Dies in Their Nightmares addressed these issues directly, helping to break down stigmas around mental health in hip-hop culture. Many fans credited his music with helping them through dark periods in their lives. The story of XXXTentacion's final hours serves as a tragic reminder of how quickly life can change and how violence can cut short even the most promising futures. At just 20 years old, Jahseh Onfroy had achieved remarkable success, but also faced serious legal troubles that might have derailed his career. His death sparked important conversations about artist safety, the dangers of flaunting wealth on social media, and the need for better security measures for high-profile individuals. While his life was complicated and controversial, there's no denying that his murder was a senseless act of violence that robbed the world of a talented young artist. The conviction of his killers brought some measure of justice, but it could never bring back the music that will never be made or the positive impact he might have had if given the chance to continue growing as both an artist and a person. XXXTentacion's story serves as both a cautionary tale and a reminder that behind every headline is a human being whose life had value, regardless of their flaws. His music continues to inspire and comfort millions around the world, ensuring that while his life was cut tragically short, his voice will live on through the art he created and the lives he touched.